Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on Ridge Life's Reviews and How-Tos, I'm going to show you how to safely wire up a ground fault circuit interrupter and downstream receptacles. You want to protect yourself? This is how you do it. So this is our GFCI, or ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle. These things are amazing. It used to be about 800 people a year died from simple shocks due to 120 volts in the household. These things right here have reduced that to about 200 or less. That's pretty amazing. And they act very, very quickly to protect people. Circuit breakers in your panels over there protect equipment. Ground fault circuit interrupters protect people. And how they do it is they monitor the amount of current going out and coming back. And if there's a little bit of current, milliamps, right? It can sense milliamps difference. That means it's either going through you or to ground. These things can trip in milliseconds. That is pretty cool. So just a few milliamps difference between what goes out to what comes. That's why you have nuisance trips a lot of times with GFCI, because it's sensing a little bit of leakage current in an older piece of equipment. And you put it on a regular receptacle and the breaker doesn't trip and it runs all day. Well, guys, that's telling you there could be a problem with your piece of equipment if it's tripping your GFCI. Okay, so these are also what's called tamper-proof. There's little shutters in here, and you have to, when you push the plug into the receptacle, the shutters open. That's actually a very, very safe thing as well, and required by code in many locations to be GFCI protected and have tamper-proof receptacles. Wiring this thing up is simple. A lot of people think, oh, I don't really know how to wire up a GFCI, because one GFCI receptacle can protect a few receptacles downstream. How many that is, you might want to check your local code, your local jurisdiction, but you can protect more than one regular receptacle with one GFCI. Okay, so what you do, on the back, you'll see the load and the line. Okay, so you put your black wire, your hot, on this brass connection for the line, and your white wire, your neutral, on this silver terminal for the line. So line and neutral down here on the bottom, and then the load, everything that's protected downstream will be wired here on these load terminals, right? Again, brass for black and silver for white, hot and neutral. Ground right there, and you gotta definitely make sure you put your ground connection on this device. And if you're using a metal box, make sure you put the ground to the metal box as well. You gotta ground those metal boxes. I'm using all PVC, so you will not see me do that here. So what happens is, when that difference in current going in, difference in current going out, it will trip it. Okay, the little light will go off, and you can come in here and push the reset button, and if it stays good and you plug it back in and it trips again, guys, make sure something's wrong with your equipment. And you can also test these periodically to make sure they work. You hit the test button, trip, and now you know you got a good GFCI. So knowing that, let's go install it. All right, so I like about 6 inches for a pigtail to stick out. Always want to leave enough that comes out of the pan. I'm going to put one piece of tape here. It's going to designate the incoming power, and then on the one I pull over to the solar array, I'll put 2 pieces of tape. You can use labels, however you want to do it. Let's go ahead and just cut these off this end. It's much easier like that. First thing I'll do, strip back, and we'll crimp on a spade. I like using spades. This is stranded wire. If you're using a Romex in a house, it'd be solid. And then you just create a little loop, clockwise loop, put the screw in. But when you got stranded wire, it's always best to give it a good crimp. So let's do that. Let's give it a good crimp. There we go. And so I can go ahead and put that on the lug. Get that on there. Let me screw that out just a little bit so it fits. Okay. We can flip it over upside down, makes it fit a little bit better. Get in there, get in there. Hard to get up under the hole there. There we go, we got it. All right, so that's all the way engaged. Tighten that. There we go. Not gonna fit good, there we go. Make sure it's tight. That's actually the hardest part of this job. And then do a little bit for the neutral and the hot. And then I got these really nice receptacles. If I didn't have the kind I can put behind the plate, if it was solid, I could do the little bend, right? But since it's not, it's stranded, these have the little plates I can just put right behind. So I make sure I do it on the line. The line is right here. There we go. Let's go all the way in. Tighten this down. And there's a lot of debate on whether you should put the ground up or down. I think GFCIs really settle that, because with the ground up, you can read load in line, right? If I put ground down, it's upside down. Okay, that's just my way of proving my point. But oops, I guess I didn't have that tight and it slid out there. Sorry about that. Get back under there. You gotta make sure there's no strands hanging out. And you don't want to pinch the insulation either. That would be bad. Don't want to pinch the insulation. You want all the force to be down on the copper. Okay, so get that under there. Again, slide it right in, just like that. Sorry about the exposure here, guys. I got that sun moving behind me. There we go. That's what happens when you work outside. Okay, so now we've got our line, our ground. Now we got to start pulling the wire all the way out to the other receptacle. That's non-GFCI. We'll be protected by this one, and then we can get it wired up here and out there. All right, so we're going to pull through that box I've got open, through the trench, right, all the way over to this receptacle on this center column right here. And this receptacle, again, I told you, is not a GFCI. It's just a regular tamper-proof 20 amp receptacle. But you see that sticker on there? I put that sticker on there to show the inspector or anybody else that this circuit is GFCI protected. That is, you need to make sure you do that. That way everyone knows that any external circuits that are not actual GFCIs themselves are GFCI protected. So I just got to open up that conduit right there, and we should be able to start that long pull from way over there. All right, I got the conduit cover back on. I got these cut out about 6 inches. Some of you are asking maybe why didn't pigtail over there and pigtail here? Well, if it's a direct wire, right, if it goes in and terminates, or if it goes in and comes out the other one, I usually don't pigtail. But if I'm going to have a receptacle, another receptacle, another receptacle, I'll use wire nuts and pigtail shorter wires inside. That way the jumpers don't happen on the receptacle. They happen inside the wire nut, inside the box. But since there's no wire, since there's no jumpers like that, I don't have to do that. So that is a good thing. Let's go ahead and get these stripped back. We're getting close to being done. I still had to pull the wires up to the other receptacle, but you know, of course, famous last words, that shouldn't be too difficult, right? Ha 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 ha. We'll see, we'll see. All right, so let's get this crimp on here. Ground wire. Come on now, get it tight. There we go. And receptacle. Same thing as before. It's probably going to be, oh, this one's a little bit different. This one's easy. Easy peasy, chocolate squeezy. Let's get that one. This one didn't have the lip sticking up like the other one did. What made my fork a little bit off. I gotta make sure I keep it pushed against there though. There we go. Keep it pushed and tighten up. Okay, that's good. All right, so just like before, these have the little holes, which is nice. Again, if you don't have the holes, you're gonna have to put either a spade or a fork on there, or have solid and just put the little clockwise loop. Okay, so black is brass, and doesn't matter which one I put them on, they're jumpered right there. That makes it really easy. So I usually like to go farthest away from the ground as possible. Oh, I gotta loosen this up first. Gotta loosen it up first. Okay, so black to brass. Get it right under there, push it all the way in. Tighten, tighten. There we go, good. Same thing on the silver side. Make sure I go all the way away. Get away there. Push it in. It goes all the way up to the insulation, but not on the insulation. Yeah, right there, okay. Tighten. And then I told you before, I like doing the ground up, and then here's that sticker again that says GFCI outlet protected, or protected outlet. There we go, right there. So now I can just get this, put this back on. I like doing it this way. Just push it on there. And then once I get this on, all I gotta do is screw that right on there. So let me right back and I'll show you the end result here. There we go, that looks pretty good. Got the cover on the conduit there. Open this up and we can see everything's nice and labeled, secured. All right, let's go down there and see if we can run the wires and to the actual GFCI. There you go, all righty. So I got the new load wire taped, 2 pieces of tape. I have this one taped, 1 piece of tape. Now the ground, since the ground, I got 2 grounds. I don't want to put 2 grounds on one terminal. So this is where I'll make one of those pigtails. So I'm just going to cut this, again, about 6 inches, like that. And then strip this back, right there. Strip this back right there. And okay, these I can cut again about 6 inches out there. And do the ground. There we go. Now the black and the white, let's go ahead and get those done first. Get that stripped back. Ooh, the sun is bright now. It came over the top there. Okay, so now we've got line. This is load, silver, right there. Gonna loosen this one up. Put the silver, make sure it's twisted so you don't get any little whiskers, I call them. Slide it right under, all the way. Tighten it down, not on the insulation. Black over here, loosen it up just a little bit. There we go. Wind's starting to blow. I'm starting to blow things around a little bit, isn't it? There we go. All the way up under there, not under the insulation. All right, let me get a wire nut. Yellow, red wire nut for 3 12 gauge. So be right back. All right, we got 3 greens. Get them twisted together there a little bit. Red wire nut for 3 12s. And that should bite all 3 of them. Okay, and you do a tug test. We are good. Now, I can pretty this all up in a loop and get this remounted. Well, there we go. We've got our GFCI mounted on the outside of our shoulder shed. And this is the actual GFCI. And I still have a sticker on there saying it's GFCI protected. I mean, obviously it's a GFCI. You really don't need that sticker there since it's GFCI, but I had extra stickers. Better safe than sorry, but that looks great. Test and reset. Project done. Well, hopefully you enjoyed today's video of watching me install our GFCI receptacle and downstream receptacle. If you want to see all this in operation, make sure you subscribe and also hit that notification bell to Ridge Life's reviews and how-tos to be notified anytime a new video comes out on one of our channels. So guys, until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day and go Ridge Life. Woo!